Hello, everybody. My name is Kim. Something awful happened to me recently. I really need support and advice from you. It might seem strange what I'm going to tell you right now, but my life has been stolen. Everything started last summer. My second cousin Karen came to visit us for the first time. It was actually the very first time she had ever left her native tiny town, and she was pretty excited about everything. Of course, she stayed at our big house, and I was happy to share my room with her. At first, everything seemed to be really great. I took Karen everywhere I went and showed her the truly fun life of a city girl. She met all my girlfriends. We taught her how to follow the latest fashion trends, went to the spa together, explained why fast food wasn't the worst tasting thing ever, and even pushed her to get acquainted with a guy she really liked. I loaned her some clothes and cosmetics so that she really looked more like a part of our gang, you know? I was really proud of myself, and I saw how extremely happy she was about the rapid change in her appearance. Only one thing about Karen that annoyed me from the very beginning was that she was too subservient, so to speak. So at some point, my mom began to pit the two of us against each other and always said something like, "Why wasn't I as helpful as Karen?" or "as kind as Karen?" and things like that. This happened so much that Karen's helpfulness had become an annoyance to me. Anyways, that summer ended really fast, and Karen went home with tears in her eyes, 'cause she really didn't want to leave me, as she'd put it. I was also crying and had promised to miss her, although I was looking forward to having my room back to myself again. We even emailed each other until the end of the summer. Karen sent me a photo of her right after getting a new haircut. She now looked a lot like me, and it seemed a little weird, but nice. Virtually nothing seemed to be suspicious. But when the school year was about to start and I returned home from a regular movie and friends night, my mom told me that there was a surprise waiting for me upstairs. It was Karen. I was definitely happy to see her, but I wondered what she was doing here while she had to get prepared for her last year of school. She said that there was another surprise and that she was going to study at my school and in my class so that we could graduate together. It turned out she liked city life and life with me so much that she practically begged her parents on her knees to let her come back here. I was really happy for her, since I could only imagine how lame life in her tiny little town was. From the very first day of school, Karen tried to follow me everywhere I went and acted pretty much exactly like me. So by the end of the first term, I had started to notice that she was copying my mannerisms, my walk, and my sense of humor and stuff. She was now even eating the same way I was. For example, when she'd first arrived in the city, she would eat everything she wanted. But now she'd begun counting calories just like me. She also stopped eating pork just like me. And she'd even started peeling the skin off of her apples just like I did. So now Karen, this once shy and polite girl, was totally gone. She wasn't shy anymore, especially hanging out with my friends. And once, a totally outrageous situation happened. I found Karen talking on the phone with somebody setting up a meeting. And when I asked where she was going, especially without me, she said she had to go meet with Emily, my Emily, behind my back. I couldn't let her do it. That's why I decided to ask her directly what she was up to with my friends, adding additional stress to the word my. I couldn't ignore the fact that Karen's smile became wider. She said that they were also friends of hers and that I was actually the one who introduced them. That's why now I shouldn't be worried about them preferring her over me, unless maybe I thought I was more interesting to hang out with. And then she left. And there I was, standing there in the middle of the room with this deep feeling inside me that I had created a real monster. I stayed at home for the rest of that day, trying to think over the situation and figure out some appropriate and strong words, to have a really serious talk with Karen when she came back. She came back pretty soon, and she was not alone. My parents happened to meet her halfway and gave her a ride. When they entered the house, everybody seemed really happy and harmonious, so to speak. I had even thought about how well Karen seems to fit into our family, and this thought made me sick. It was impossible for her to replace me, right? We weren't alone again until late at night, and I was the one who started the conversation. She was silent, but I could feel her tension and irritation. When I was done with my speech, Karen showed me her cell phone. There was a group chat with her and all of my friends, but I wasn't included. She said that she never meant to replace me totally, and that she was grateful for everything that I had done for her. But since my friends were more interested in hanging out with her rather than me, I was probably never interesting for them at all. It sounded like nonsense and was really offensive. I'd never experienced this type of cruelty before in my life, and I never thought that a person who I was sharing my room with would ever steal my life. We had a huge fight, and it was so bad that even my mom knocked on the door asking what was going on between us. Both of us said nothing and silently went to sleep. Since that, I've barely interacted with Karen. I didn't want to bother my friends by having them hang out with me, so I kinda ignored them. And even though they continuously texted me, I kept thinking that they were doing it deliberately. I was feeling so sorry for myself in this situation that I had almost forgotten about my birthday that coming Sunday. I had no one to properly celebrate this day with, so why should I be excited about it? When I woke up that Sunday morning, I felt the day was already ruined because my nasty brother was screaming downstairs that my birthday cake looked better than his or something. I knew the family was about to enter my room to congratulate me. It was a sort of our tradition. So I was lying in bed waiting for them to appear. But when they entered my room, I was so surprised that I even screamed. Everybody was there with the cake. Not only my family and Karen, but also every single girl from my group of friends. It definitely wasn't what I had expected. Everybody laughed and began hugging me one by one. And once all the excitement had settled down, Karen approached me. She said she was really sorry for her behavior, but our fight was a part of her master plan to surprise me for my birthday. I had brought her to life with everything I did for her, and she had finally figured out a way to thank me. I was in shock. It was a good shock, I think, but still, shock. Of course, I'd accepted her apology and her wrongly chosen way to please me, and I was no longer angry at her. However, now that some time has passed, I still think her behavior was slightly weird, and deep down, I hope we go to different colleges. If you ever have any annoying or strange relatives, feel free to write about them in the comments below this video. And don't forget to click on the subscribe button, because lots of other interesting videos are going to appear here.